as you look at your strategies, find the one that's working, and maybe instead of having a whole bunch, really dial in on that one strategy and attempt to perfect it. Hello everybody, my name is Thor Young. I'm a moderator of Bear Bull Traders, and I would like to do a recap for you today. In my recap today, I'd like to talk a little bit about a common issue that I think many new traders experience as they try and dive through the huge amounts of information that's out there. I had a trader today talk to me that I've been kind of speaking with on and off a bit, and they really talked about what is going on here, why are they not finding the consistency that they're looking after. And then I had them go through their logs and their journals, and what they noticed was that there was a specific type of setup that that seemed to work better than others. And then I said, well, why don't you just focus on that setup? And then it dawned on me that this is what the topic really should be about, because I actually made the same exact change myself a couple of weeks ago. One thing that I notice a lot as I attempt to educate about stock trading is I often end up with a whole bunch of different stuff on my charts, different levels, different MAs, different Fibonacci's, different retracements, and what I find out is I end up almost in like analysis paralysis, where I can't figure out where I want to take a trade because I've just got so much stuff everywhere. So what I decided to do a few weeks ago is I wanted to go back to my Camarilla strategies and really look at those Camarilla points and pivots and really just focus in on that and use those as my wares because they work so well for me, and then just focus on my order flow reading around that. So, and I actually said the same thing to this trader, which is the recommendation I'm going to make all for you, is as you look at your strategies, find the one that's working, and maybe instead of having a whole bunch, really dial in on that one strategy and attempt to perfect it. It shouldn't take you very long. You know, Mark Douglas, for instance, would say maybe 20 trades to 30 trades before you start to figure out if it's really going to work for you long term, if it's going to be something that you can repeat. So, and I did this with my Camarillas. It's helping me, and I hope that'll help them. So now on to my recap. So now I'm talking about my Camarillas here, and on Apple, you can see I got a beautiful short off of R3. So there's a little bit of a variation that I do on these Camarillas that not other pivot traders do, which is I actually consider my ranges a little bit differently. When I talk about an inside day versus an outside day, for instance, when I say an inside day, I mean something that's going to stay inside the day's range, where others may describe it as you're inside the previous day's range, right? So when I speak about inside day, I mean the current day that we're on. It innately makes sense to me. I never understood the concept of calling something a breakout on an inside day. That if it's an outside day, I expect a breakout. Just jive for me. But anyway, so what you can see here is Apple on the daily had this very aggressive move out from R4, right? And then it ran right into R5 today, and it was moving up to that level on relatively low volume considering. So I really wasn't looking for Apple to go much higher today. And also, if you look at my 15-minute chart, that was supported by a very wide cam range, right? So I'm looking at an inside day as I would define it. So an inside day means for me that it's going to rally at some point, and then I'm going to look for it to run back the inside of the range. So makes sense to me, right? So Apple, as it opened, right, opened and sold very heavy at the open, and I got a little impatient. Full disclosure, got a little impatient. I got short a little early on the first minute. I don't know why. One of these days I'll stop making silly mistakes like this, but hey, win some, lose some, right? But, full disclosure here, got to give you my bad with my good. So I went short because it made this new low here. I was expecting to break it. It squeezed right against me. New high stopped me out. I was like, and of course, as soon as it did, it stalled here as it went through. I saw selling hit the tape like crazy. It dropped down. I said, okay, I'm doing it again. So I short again, top of my candle, recovered my loss, got a little bit more, added in 2 more really good partials, and found myself out at about 4R for the day. And that's my trade for the day, right? Now, Apple ended up actually squeezing all the way back up, and I took the rest off when it went through opening price again. And look, came all the way back through and then lost R3, and there it is. See, the pivot that we're really going through for our inside ranges, right? When we're trading here, and we're trading what I like to call the S3 to R3 traverse, or vice versa, is the reason I like these inside ranges and to identify them as such as you get plays all day. Now, I was already over goal, so I decided not to get back in, but look at this beautiful inverted hammer here, shooting star style. Drop, and then there we go again. We lose our R3, and this time we get a perfect traverse from R3 to S3. And look at the bounce at S3. And then now it's playing back up towards VWAP. The predication, or how these Camarilla points work, is they work thinking that the stock, if it's not in a strong catalyst or is not attempting to move away from value, is going to ebb and flow up towards to and away from value over and over and over and over again. And as you can see, that's what Apple has done here today. We started off around mid-level, sold off, we rallied back up to R3, and then we sold all the way back down. Now we're rallying back up towards value again. Right? This is why the Camarilla strategies can be so useful, because they have strategies for breakout markets, which are bullish and bear markets. They also have strategies for choppy markets, or as I like to call, kangaroo markets. So anyway, that's my recap today. Nice solid trade on Apple. Got me to goal and called it a day. I hope everyone else was able to fare the day well also. Hope you all have a great one. And as all, y'all, keep it green. Thanks.